Hi, so my name's Cole, and I'm just gonna be making these videos just to kind of like, I guess, reach out to people maybe. Maybe some people see it, maybe they don't. I kind of just wanted to document my life as well, just for me to be able to look back at in years and be like, wow, look how far I've come, right? So, like I said, my name's Cole. This is gonna be like my introduction, just about me, who I am, my goals. I don't know, maybe some things about me. Um, I go to New Hope Church. I go Thursdays and Sundays there, and then I also go to Grace Church on Wednesdays. Um, they're all in Texas, around like the Houston area. Great churches, love them to death. And I lead kids at camps, uh, specifically for New Hope. And yeah, I've been in pretty deep in my faith for about 6 months now. I guess I've been like at least like reading my Bible consistently for like 6 months. Um, I got saved about a year and a half ago. No, almost 2 years, like a year and 9 months. I don't know, but yeah. So it's kind of awkward. I'm really nervous, honestly. But yeah, so I've been deep in my faith for a little bit now. I'm just like really now trying to like grow like the past like 6 months or so. I've been like trying to like strive for Jesus, right? I'm striving to be like the man I want to be one day. And so like I guess my testimony is kind of like it's kind of long and complicated, but I'm gonna go through it. So I grew up in a Christian household, like kind of like Christian, like my parents drink. Um, they had a rocky relationship. They got divorced when I was about 12. I'm 16 now. I don't know if I said that or not, but so I got divorced when I was around like 11 or 12, and since then my mom married a man who I guess kind of does hit me, and not really anymore because I'm kind of bigger than him, so it's a little embarrassing for him. But now he doesn't hit me, so I'm good now. No need to call cops or anything. That's already been done. But um, since I have found Christ, I have forgiven him for the things that he's done, and honestly, our relationship hasn't been better. So that's great. Um, Another thing is with my dad. I'm trying to get him to go to church. He's starting to dip his toes in the water a little bit. That's kind of a weird analogy, but he's been this like his second time going, so it's looking upwards. He's like Catholic, or says he is. I'm non-denominational, by the way. That's kind of important. I believe it's more of a like my relationship with Jesus than a religion, because I mean Jesus didn't come down here and make a religion, although he technically was Jewish, but I don't think he. Well, no, he was Jewish, but yeah, and what else? So that's part of my testimony is about my like stepdad hitting me, and now I kind of like came to forgive him. Some other things are my wrist. I don't know if you can really see. I kind of can on the video. I got a scar though, like 13 screws and a plate. A lot of people think it's like suicide or something when they see it, but it's not. It was from soccer. I broke it. I also broke this wrist. It like pops out. It's kind of hard to show on video, but it pops out. It's kind of cool. But I also broke it playing, or not playing soccer, but this one's skating. And then I broke my foot with a stress fracture, and I also got two hairline fractures and a break in my toe. Stress fracture is like a permanent break. Well, usually it's not, but it is kind of for me, or is for me. And it ended like my soccer career, which was always like my dream, and that was what I desired so much. Like I really honestly idolized it, which is kind of what like leads into my testimony, right? So I like idolized it to a point where, of course, I would choose like soccer over church. That was like a no-brainer to me back then, right? It was like, why would I go to church when I could go play a game, right? Like playoffs, my team needs me, right? That was my thought process, which honestly, it's not a healthy thought process. I mean, I would love to say that it is, but it's not. And I think several times throughout like my career, I was like kind of getting called out of it, I guess, because I played club and I was competitive. I loved it. I mean, when we went to nationals in Oklahoma, I was like, I thought I was going to go to college, just maybe even play professionally. My goal was like college, at least minimum, right? That was my whole plan to get into college. Lord knows Gray's ain't going to get me there. And so once that like ended, I was like, dang, I guess I should like start finding God. So like the first time, which was my foot, when it first started like hurting, and I had to stay out for like 6 months. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna like, I had time for church, so I started going to church. And then I went to like a camp, and I had to lead kids, and I was not in a position to lead, but like, I don't know, I feel like I was being called to lead. And so I led the kids, and I honestly, it was eye-opening to me, I guess. I started reading my Bible a little bit. It was like once a week, maybe. And then some days I might read like every day of the week, and I was like, great, right? But I really wasn't understanding a lot. I wasn't like taking notes and stuff. I actually have my Bible next to me. And so one book I haven't read since then was like Romans, right? And you can kind of tell like how I've grown if I like go look at my reading, right? So if we go look at Romans, I mean, you could tell like I kind of like, I mean, I understood what was going on. I had little highlights, little notes like every now and then. Just a couple little highlighted things. I think like the last page I probably had a little bit more, I think, but I know you can't really like define your growth of how many notes and stuff you take, because some days everybody goes through like seasons, right? But that was like kind of me at the time, right? I wasn't like super in on it, but I was learning, just not to like the extent that I wanted to. And so if we look at like, I guess more recent things like like Second Corinthians I read not too long ago, because I read First Corinthians ages ago, and I was like, you know what, I'll just go back and read Second. I read First Peter recently. Honestly, my favorite book of the Bible. Fun fact. But all like great books and stuff. And so I started like diving in the Word more. Started reading more. Then I was like still idolizing soccer, because I was like, you know what, I'll just teach the gospel through soccer, right? Like I'll just talk to these people in soccer. I was like, I'll just share the word. That was my plan, right? I was like, okay, now I'm honoring you, God, and what I want to do. And so now everything's going to be okay. I'm leaving my phone in a water bottle. It's not really working. Anyway, and then I continued to kind of idolize soccer, right? So then I was like, all right, whatever, you know. I just didn't really think about it, didn't think anything too big of it. And then I broke my wrist, and that's when I got fat. And now it was like, okay, whatever. I hear you, God, right? Like, I get it. And I like started reading my Bible more. And then went straight back to soccer right when I was healed. And then I got my permanent injury, and that's when I really felt like I was being called to the church. I was getting offered to lead again, and I started actually really leading and like striving to be a better leader. And that's what I think makes me a better person every day, is striving to be a good leader and a good role model to my kids. And so that's the thing that I think originally helped me. Now it's more of I guess just me just striving for holiness, to be like Jesus, and that's like my goal, because I think my true desire is to be like I guess like a God-fearing man who can be a father to his kids and teaches kids about the gospel as like I was not taught as I was little, right? So that's like another part of my testimony. Something else is when I really started diving in Christianity originally, I was about I'd say 14, yeah, like, no, like 13, like between 13 and 14, I don't know, it's like freshman year of high school, I'm a junior now. So I guess I like probably just turned 14, my birthday's this summer, so. And I was dating this Muslim girl at the time, or Islamic, and she taught me like a lot just about like her Arabic culture and everything. And I decided to start studying Islamic, and I like just Muslims, and I still do admire the way that they like pray and stuff like this. Something's just very admirable about them. And so I just went through, continued to just learn about them. And then I learned about other religions. So, I just started diving into everything, Jehovah's Witnesses. I still can't I don't understand it. And then, what else? Jewish. I went behind that. Hinduism, Buddhism. I just started learning about everything, right? Because I wanted to like be firm in my faith, right? So if I was gonna say, hey, I'm a Christian, I'm not just gonna like not be able to back it up, right? I mean, you can't have proof for anything, because like I can't prove to you that I'm just not a figment of your imagination, right? But I can have evidence of something, right? So that's like why I chose to believe in Christ, because I'm like a science type of person, right? So I had to have that science to back it up, that there's like evidence that Christ is a man who lived and breathed, and like it says in Luke 137, no word from God will ever fail, right? So if like all this stuff in the Bible is true, then like why would I not follow it if I'm gonna like go to like this internal pit, right? And so I guess in that way I learned a lot, and that's kind of like my testimony. I gave my life to Christ like a couple years ago, or like a year and a half. after leading at a winter camp. And so now I'm at the point where I'm trying to grow every day. And I guess the past like few weeks I've been kind of, I wouldn't say stalemating, but I've been in a season of I don't really know what you call it. I guess like emptiness, right? I felt like a lot recently, like I'm still like reading my Bible every day. I'm still praying. I'm still worshiping. I'm still going to church. I go 3 times a week. Like, why am I not still having this feeling of just like I want to just strive for God? Why am I not having that? And so I've been like asking myself that a lot recently. But I think that's just like the exact opposite of what I should be doing. I should be thanking God for being able to go through this, right? And so now I feel like I'm being called to just make these like yap sessions and post them, because I mean, for all I know, I mean, I'm not saying I definitely don't want anybody. If you know me, no, you don't. Like, actually, nah, you do. Talk to me about it, maybe. But I don't know. I just maybe somebody out there might see this and it might help them get through something, you know. So I'm just gonna continue to just post videos about my day-to-day life. Really, I'm just gonna yap about anything. It's a yap session, right? And I'll have topics because I have a lot of topics that I'd love to go over. I just love talking about these things, right? I mean, it's what I want to do. So there's that. That's my favorite book, First Peter. Honestly, First Peter, great book. And let me just show y'all real quick, like how much I wrote throughout the whole thing. It's actually kind of ridiculous. Here's like the start of it. And that's First Peter. And then it's only 5 chapters, so it's a short book. So it's not like it's like a long book and I wrote this every page. But great book. First Peter was camera. Was a video, or not a video, a letter that, imagine if Paul could send videos. No, never mind. Anywho, a letter that Paul sent to the Romans at the time when this guy named Nero burnt down Rome and like blamed on the Christians because the Christians were like getting all so powerful and mighty, right? And so this King Nero felt threatened by the Christians that they might like continue to just rise up and be like all this like grand people, right, and take his like king position until Nero was like, okay, I'm gonna burn down Rome and blame it on the Christians. So that's what he did, right? And so Paul here is writing to these people, or not Paul, wait, Peter. Peter's writing to these people. I don't know if I said Paul earlier. I meant Peter. Peter's writing to these people in Rome about like, hey, like hold firm in your faith. Just continue, just read your word. Just continue to proclaim the gospel, bring people to you, bring them to the word. And that's like his letter, right? And it's just amazing the way that he just speaks to them, and thinking that these people in this time were just under this just horrible just season of depression and just anxiety, like, wow, should I even like tell people that I follow God? Because like they were getting killed, right? Because like they were getting killed because they believed in Christ. Like even people still nowadays are, which is just crazy that I have this privilege to be able to just talk about this and just post to do whatever with it, right? And I love that, honestly. So that's why First Peter is my favorite book, I guess. Another part of my testimony would be lust, which, hold up, first piece of advice, I heard this today, greatest piece of advice I've ever heard on like relationships, if you're like a guy with women, or even if you're a girl with guys. I can't really talk on that sense though, because I don't really know how y'all work, honestly. I can't speak about that. But this piece of advice I heard today was from one of my pastors, and he told me to think of every girl or woman as if she were your sister until you are married. So you want to kiss your sister, right? So you're not going to kiss your sister while you're dating, because that could lead into further temptations and stuff, right? So I just think that's just so amazing. So think about that. But anywho, back to my sins. I've dated 2 girls. One, like, so was a Muslim girl. We weren't really close, so I wouldn't even honestly count it, because I didn't even like see her outside of school. It was just like a silly little freshman relationship, honestly. But I did learn a lot from her. Honestly, it was in the form of like sinning. It was a great relationship because it didn't do anything. And then I got with this girl who, not saying I'm not blaming it on her, it was equal. Probably my fault more than hers. But we did fall into some sexual sins and didn't do the holiest things, right? But through that, then we ended up breaking up, found God, both came back together, and then broke up again once we realized, like, hey, like, this, I don't know, it's just like not us, right? And it just didn't feel the same. So that was like a really big part of my testimony that I kind of left out. And that's something I still struggle with every day, but I am striving to fight for it, which I've been porn free for 5 months now, I think. Something like that, like 5 months. So I don't know. I think that's pretty good, and I think that like lust just as a whole is just such a hard thing for like a lot of young men and just men in general to go through. And yeah, I'll probably make a video in the future actually. But that's all I have for today. Just kind of to get to know me, what I'm gonna be posting about. I'm just gonna be talking about God. I'm just gonna be yapping, just absolute yap sessions. And yeah, I'll probably kind of like vlog a little bit, I guess. I might bring some friends, video with them. Hopefully I'll be more comfortable and get better video. Maybe I'll like put up here or something. I don't know. Thank you for watching if you made this far. Yeah.